This is the trade recap for March 2025. Starting off, you can see I made 5.98 Rs on the month. I took 11 trades in total, 5 wins, 3 break-evens, and 2 losses. It was a trade win rate of 71%. I had a profit factor of 8.04. So my biggest trade this month was 2.11 R. My worst trade was 0.94. And this month I was more focused on maximizing my winners and minimizing my gains. I didn't do well on maximizing my gains, but I definitely did better minimizing my losses, as you can see here. Below 1R, which is better than losing 1R, right? If you look at this Friday, I pretty much 0.3 Rs away from a full one. That's a lot better in my opinion, because on that week I only ended up losing 0.21. But with my winners, on the other hand, you can see that my bigger trades are around 2R, right? But my goal is to mostly get it to 3, 4, and make my winners run longer. So starting off, looking at my best trade this month, in March at least, this is the trade I took. It was a previous volume profile showing a top-heavy formation, or rejecting this. In this case, we were rejecting this level, pushing down. But the reason why I chose to enter a buy and not look for shorts in this situation was because I saw delta starting to kick in, and you can't see it here, but on the higher time frames we had price reject the lows here. So pretty much entering off the break of the high, stops below this point of control, targeting the point of control. And what ended up happening was the trade did end up playing out, as you can see. But what I definitely could have done better in this trade was hold my position. We did have some resistance at this hourly point of control, but we did end up breaking it. And the reason why is because looking at delta below and buyers kick in, it was so much stronger compared to, price action in general. We ended up pushing to overnight highs. So this trade, if I was to hold for longer, I could have secured probably a 4 or 5R on this trade. Looking at my worst trade of the month, 0.94. This was the position I took. It was pretty much similar to the last position I took, or the last position I showed. We were rejecting the highs in this case, targeting the lows. You can't see it here, but delta and sellers, we had negative delta kick in and sellers kick in. So I entered off the break of the low because I liked how it reacted off this current point of control. Stops at the highs, targeting the low. And what ended up happening was we got stopped out. And in this case, this was right before like tariff talk. So there's a lot of delta manipulation going on. But then again, delta still worked in the situation, right? It started to flip at this level, at this new formed point of control, or this new formed resistance here, slash support, right? But what I definitely could have done better was been more aggressive with my stops in this case, right? Especially after breaking this low here. I definitely could have moved my stops here to that previous point of control. So that could have saved me an extra 0.4 Rs on the trade. Or if I wanted to be more aggressive, drag my stops below here in between this low value node. But then again, we still risked what I needed to risk in this case, right? Pretty much 1R. Did have a bit of slippage at my exit, but then again, not bad. And one trade was this break-even trade. This break-even trade I'm kind of pissed about because if I was to hold my position, I could have secured at least a minimum of 1 to 2 RR. This was the position I took, pretty similar to all the positions I take. We had a change in market structure. We had a previous hourly control show some sign of support or resistance, right? And in this case, looking at the R now, I definitely could have been more aggressive with my stops, right? Put it at this previous point of control. Maybe even targeted less the point of control hourly, but more of the high volume node. All right, this is the trade I took. And the reason why I'm pissed about it is because nothing here shows signs of rejection to the upside, right? As you can still see that we are still following trend. This is pretty much just a retrace, and I exited break even here. I don't know why I exited in this situation. It probably could have been because I see price flush down and I want to see it keep flushing, right? Especially if we're in an area of low volume node, right? There is no volume at this level. So if we meet some sort of resistance at this level, something's got to be there, right? So that's probably why I exited in the first place. But then again, I definitely should have held this trade because just looking at structure alone, it looks good, right? We have, right, on my entry, I entered off a lower low. We retraced lower high, right? Same thing here. This was a retrace back into the hourly point of control, and what ended up happening was we rejected it and we dumped down and pretty much swept the overnight lows just in that one session. So that trade definitely could have done better. All the other trades are pretty similar to the ones I took, right? You can see here, pretty similar. That's mainly my strategy here. Right, retrace, break a structure. But yeah, going through all these trades, definitely could have done better. Especially with some of my break evens, right? And some of my winners, right? The one I took on the Monday of the 10th and the 20th on the Thursday, these two definitely could have been better, a lot better. But then again, right now I'm focused more on getting better at trading and less the money, because I can guarantee 2-3 years from now I'm probably gonna be making 200-300K a month, right? But I'm not going to get there if I focus on the money, right? I got to focus on actually refining my own personal system. So yeah, this was pretty much my March. Definitely did better